Essentially, I call it the nonsense ways of writing Hindi couplets, because the moment you try to put in some sense into your writing, I think it takes away that spontaneity element from it. And it's nice to have things which look symmetrical or which look very, which rhyme at the end of the day. पर आप like sense के साथ नहीं जा सकते, किसी method के साथ poetry में नहीं जा सकते. And so bear with me. I'll give you an examples why I'm saying all this that I'm saying. So I'm going to go with an overall what we are going to cover. So we'll cover these few things. And I'm going to give you an introduction, like why I'm doing it and where I started my career. Just give me 1 second. Are people coming? So I started blogging in 2011. I don't have any professional or academic qualifications to be a writer. I just studied, I think, English. So basically Shakespeare and Jane Austen in my college. But after that, I have been a very avid reader. There was a point in time मैं 100 किताबें दिन की साल की पढ़ती थी. And so 2011, when I moved to Boston, I started blogging. At that point in time, I know only probably 3 bloggers. Amitabh Bachchan used to blog, Chetan Bhagat, and Chetan Bhagat was really nice. Whenever I wrote an email to him, he replied back. And Lisa Ray, I think she was battling her cancer, and she wrote her journey in that blog. So I started blogging, and with respect to blogging, I was very lucky. I started blogging in June, and I got my first income, I think, in December 2011 only. 2012 was the time that I started doing sponsored work on my blog, or as well as on the upcoming blogs as well, or upcoming websites in India and US, Europe as well. 2014, I was a full-time content writer with 2-3 blogs, actually, apps. One of them is still an app. It's Moneyview, if you guys have heard of it. It's based out of Bangalore. It's the #1 financial app in India. So I was with them till pandemic in 2020. They just cut down their budget and we were all let go. So 2015 was the time I started doing my commission work. And if you guys want to know about commission work, let me know. I get requests to write stuff from people, like if you have an anniversary or a birthday, anything. You guys ask, is anyone else there? Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to check if someone else is there. All right, no. So can you see my screen now? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wonderful. So 2015, I started with my commission work. I still do it, but I do it more often because with commission work, you have to set up many interviews to get what they want, the idea of what they want to me to write about. It's a very lucrative business model if you guys, any of you is interested in doing that. It pays more than what content writing pays sometimes. And 2021 was when essentially with Booker Cafe and Swag Mera Desi, my line of merchandise was introduced in the market. So as of now, we sell posters and framed pictures as well as journals. So if you guys are interested, you can just go to Swag Mera Desi and check out there or buy from there. Currently, we deliver only in India. So that's one other constraint that we are working on. So till this time, does anyone has a question? Do you have any question? Okay, all right. Give me 1 second. Okay, so if you would like, you can take a screenshot of this, or if you would like, you can write it down. So I have divided this whole webinar into 5 examples as far as these writing styles are concerned. So essentially the first is, what I personally like a lot is bringing magic to something which is a normal verse. And how I do it is, there is a simple formula which I don't know, I never thought of it that way, but one day I kind of, because I've been doing analysis, I uh, dissect everything that I write and I see why it's working, why the numbers are high on this particular verse. Just give me 1 second. Let's see. So, can you see the screen now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I'm on the next slide. So, what I essentially do is that whenever I write something, I try to beat science. So, this is the when I have dissected all through my 10 years of writing Hindi couplets, that I break uh, wherever there is magic is essentially something that defies science. So one of my very personal favorite, because I think it has an element of magic and emotion, and that's why it, for me, it sounds very nice, is पंख लगा के उड़ नहीं सकती मेरी चिट्ठी, अल्फाज और एहसास दोनों भारी हैं इसमें. सो आई डोंट नो आप में से कितने लोगों ने ये पढ़ा है, पर अगर आप इस पूरे कपलेट को ब्रेक डाउन करेंगे तो आपको समझ में आएगा कि it had the most important factor of that whole couplet is, one of the most is कि essentially a chitti cannot fly, right? So you are beating science in a way. So that's how you're bringing magic to your couplet. तो आप जब भी कुछ लिखते हैं और लिखने की कोशिश या सोचते हैं कि आप लिखेंगे, तो आप ये सोचें पहले, अगर आपको उसमें थोड़ा सा मैजिक लेके आना है कि जो चीज नहीं हो सकती. So I have written one example for you. This is while making this presentation. तुम नंगे पांव किनारे पे क्या चली, सुलगती रेत में उफान आ गया. So उफान essentially means a boiling kind of a motion. तो वो रेत में कभी नहीं हो सकता, सैंड पे कभी भी उफान नहीं आ सकता. So this is something defying the science. You are not going with the science. You are saying something which is not happening with science. And you are writing a couplet based on that. So if I were to practice, now I don't practice it because it has, when you do something repetitively over so many years, आपकी वो चीज आपको पता नहीं चलती, पर आपकी साइकी में होती है और आप लिख सकते हैं. पर अगर इस स्टाइल को आप में से कोई लिखना चाहता है, तो आप उससे क्या करें कि think of any situation which is which is just opposite of what science doesn't tell you at all. फिर उसमें आप एक सिचुएशन इमेजिन करें. जैसे मैंने समुद्र और I thought of a seashore because this is one scenery which I personally like a lot. But you guys can think of anything at all. Maybe sky, maybe river, maybe river going in the backward direction. And in the second, then bring a second thought to it कि उसके साथ क्या आपके इमोशंस जा सकते हैं. जैसे मैंने बोला कि इसी एग्जाम्पल को लेते हुए कि रेत में उफान आ गया, राइट. बट रेत में उफान का सिचुएशनल क्या होगा, या तो कोई इस पे चलेगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई, बट कोई चलना इज नॉट पोएटिक, सो दैट्स व्हाई आई टोल्ड नंगे पांव, because I just want to emphasize on the beauty of that woman, or probably the beauty of her feet, whatever. But like the breakdown is this: if you have to dissect the couplet in a, if you have to reverse engineer it. So does any one of you have any questions about it? No? We're good? Can I move forward? Yes, no? Okay, perfect. So second चीज जो मुझे काफी लोगों ने पूछी questions में, और generally लोग, this is one thing that I see almost every other person doing, is they love to see rhyme. I personally think rhyming is good, but rhyming should not be your only aim, first of all. And second, I personally think कि जब आप rhyming लेके आते हैं किसी चीज में, तो आप उसकी rawness खत्म कर देते हैं. तो अगर कोई चीज आपको बहुत spontaneous या जैसे वो बोलते हैं कि एकदम से hit करे, essentially anybody who is famous in any genre is either because of certain bit of humor, the X factor, or people can relate to their work. So I think, in my understanding, rawness is something that will bring an element of connectivity because आप बोलते उस तरह से हैं. तो मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल पढ़ के सुनाती हूँ जो मैंने लिखा है. And this one is rhyming, बात and औकात. But अगर आप second को देखेंगे, ये rhyming नहीं है. Give me 1 second, I have to let somebody in. So अगर मैं इसको पढ़ूं, घर वाले करते हैं हर बात पे पैसे की बात, अपने घर में महसूस होती है मुझे अब फकीरों सी औकात. So as you can see, this is rhyming well, and even the message is clear. But if I change it to something which is not rhyming, so it will bring an element of rawness. You will feel कि कोई इंसान चलते फिरते ये बात बोल सकता है. Hence, the level of connectivity or the level of relatability to this couplet increases. And I'm going to read it for you now. फकीरियत सी महसूस होती है अपने ही घर में मुझे, जब घर वाले बात बात पे पैसे की बात करते हैं. So let me know in the comments below, or like let me know when we are going to have a question and answer session. Do you think it kind of sounds very very raw, but at the same time it's something somebody will say to you when you're talking to each other? So I'm just going to give you a couple of probably 10-15 seconds to read it out loud yourself if you're looking at the screen. All right, so I assume you guys are fast readers. So अगर आप rhyming, if you want to do rhyming and it's happening naturally, fine. But I would always suggest you कि जब वो rhyme हो रहा है, उसके बाद आप उसको उसमें से rhyming हटा के उसको normal language वाली बात में डालने की कोशिश करें. It kind of elevates the couplet on a different level. And I have this trick which I use, and you guys must have seen it. It's not a trick, it's my personal liking towards few words. Like I use the word comeback a lot. So I put comeback in many couplets. Second is, now when I have started reciting my poetry, I feel that you have to do fillers in poetry. So for example, Janab, Sahab, there was a time when I was using a little bit of abusive words. It's nice if they fit in. Don't try to do it just for the sake of doing it. So there is this one couplet which I wrote, I think it was कौन मासूम रहता है यहाँ, जिंदगी थोड़ा बहुत हरामीपन सबको सिखा देती है. So this abusive word, it kind of fits. Sale fits, but like don't try to do it because it kind of looks very nice and aggressive, and these things kind of have high impact on somebody who's reading. Just do it if it flows naturally. So but try to, even if you have written essentially something which is rhyming, make it raw. That's the whole point. Rawness is better. But the third tip which I'm going to share with you guys is something which, even if it's raw, try to edit it. Try to edit your couplet till आप जब उसको खुद सुने लिखने के बाद, तो आपको ये रियलाइज हो कि ये जो है, जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ या जो मैं सुन रहा हूँ, ये मुझे ऐसा साउंड हो रहा है कि मैं किसी फ्रेंड को फोन पे बोल रहा हूँ, या when I'm ranting out, when I'm sharing my heartfelt emotions to somebody close to me, तो मैं वैसे बोलूंगा, मैं because rhyming में कोई नहीं बात करता. So continuing with the previous example, अगर हम, I will start with this because this is again rhyming. अगर आप इसे पढ़ें, फकीरियत सी महसूस होती है अपने ही घर में मुझे, जब घर वाले बात बात पे पैसे की बात करते हैं, पर आप मैंने इसको एडिट किया क्योंकि मुझे अभी भी बहुत फोर्सफुल लग रहा था, मुझे लग रहा था कि फ्लो नहीं कर रहा, एंड आई वांट दैट a smooth flow which is like a basic talking language on a daily basis, or basic dialect. I love UP dialect, I'm very bad at it. I love the Punjabi dialect which Pakistani speak, and so I try to see if I am little closer to it. So इसी को अगर हम change करें तो ये है, जब घर वाले बात बात पे पैसे की बात करते हैं, अपने ही घर में फकीरियत सी महसूस होती है मुझे. So I don't know how many of you will agree, but for me, it's not for anybody else. When you're writing, you are writing for yourself. You are only writing for others when you're getting paid for it. Then you have to take their okay. But अगर आप खुद के लिए लिख रहे हैं, तो खुद से पूछें कि क्या मैं ऐसे बात करता हूँ? क्या जब मैं बोलूंगा तो मैं किस चीज को प्रेफर करूंगा या करूंगी? So you guys edit it till it's as close to your identity as possible. Don't think about what others think. Don't think about even who's your best critic in your circle thinks. Just stick to your own opinions. The fourth thing which I have discovered very recently is कि अगर, because आजकल everybody wants to share their work on social media, and reels and videos are the latest craze. I'm probably late into it. पर अगर आपको कुछ भी रील्स के लिए लिखना है, तो प्लीज उसे छोटा मत लिखें, because there are very popular couplets from my own collection, like बटुआ खाली क्या हुआ, रिश्ते हल्के हो गए. अगर आप मेरी फीड में जाके उसे सुनेंगे, वो आपको बहुत बुरा लगेगा. अगर आपको बुरा नहीं भी लगेगा, तो आप उसको जो लंबे वर्सेस हैं उनसे कंपेयर करके देखें. It will sound not as good as the longer verses are. And again, coming back to the fillers, if your couplet is very beautiful and you want to make a reel of it, please use fillers like Janab, Mohatarma, Kambakt, anything which you think can be filler and can make an impact, right? But don't use any stupid fillers which I have seen people using, or they speak in their daily language. But just essentially try to use fillers and make them longer. So I know I did something very recently today, and I added the word Janab into it. So this is what I have written, and you will see that it kind of sounds better if I have to speak it very, poetically in a reel with some music into it. So आज तक किसी से कुछ नहीं लिया, पर तुझसे बार बार इश्क मांगता हूँ. ये महज दिल लगी नहीं है मोहतरमा, इतना मैं जानता हूँ. So there is a little bit of, I am not speaking it very nice right now, but if you look at it, you will be able to see that you can do a little bit of voice modulation into it. And when you put it into reel, it's 6, 7 or 8 seconds, and it comes out really nice. It's music to ears to an extent. But shorter verses are a complete no-no. If you want to make them because it's your content, and you should do whatever you want to do. But just keep that thing in mind, that if you're writing something specifically for a reel, try to make it at least 4 lines, or something that can be broken down into 4 lines. And the last thing is that if you want to do anything where you're lost, just ask them questions in poetry. So asking question is a very, very safe format in writing shorter verses. And it could be something that you want to say out to a friend, or an ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, somebody who has mistreated you. If you put it into poetry in the form of question, it comes out very beautiful. So I have written something which I personally like. It's a part of a long poem Hindi which I wrote 2-3 months back. तुम मुझे छोड़ गए, उसका तुम्हें कभी अफसोस हुआ है क्या? मैं नहीं पूछूंगी तुमसे कि मेरे बाद मेरी तरह किसी को छुआ है क्या? So essentially, you will not ask your ex this question because it's very intimate, and I think you have to have a lot of guts to ask that. But just be sure that you are asking uncomfortable questions, questions in general. So in a sense, that kind of is a very safe way of expressing yourself and saying things that you can never say, And secondly, put your reader in a zone where they will go into a loop ki अच्छा यार कोई मुझसे पूछ लेगा तो मैं क्या करूंगा या मैं क्या सोचता हूँ, like what, like it's a question people think but they never ask, so it kind of leaves that element of, you know, lingering effect on the minds of your readers. So this is about it. If you guys want to ask me any questions afterwards or want to have this examples, I'm going to place that on my blog. You can use it from there if you want to go through the material. And if you guys have taken screenshots, great. And now I'm going to be opening questions. If any one of you wants to ask any question, then that will be fine. So on to you guys. Anyone? Okay. Can I, guys, is that I have to ask you? You can unmute yourself, correct? Yeah, Abhijit, you can ask.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Saru.
Hi.
Yeah, in the form, I think I had asked about rhymes and couplets,
Okay.
which you, of course, answered.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you very much for that. And the second question was, what is a free verse?
Yeah,
Is
sorry,
that
please.
is that the same answer that you had written in the same slide about rhymes and rawness?
No, actually, the point is that free verse, first of all, is something which doesn't follow the you know, the English era structure of A B C D A B C D A B C D or A B C B, whatever you guys follow, right? The Shakespeare and sonnet. So free verse is something which you're writing and there is no rhyming structure to it. You can just write and there is no length count, there is nothing. So most of the modern writing is free verse, and I'm a fan of it. And what was the second question?
Yeah, I mean, is the free verse same as rawness?
No, rawness is something कि मतलब सिंपल सी बात है कि जो बात मैंने आपको जो एग्जाम्पल में कही थी कि उसमें मैंने बोला आपको कि आप डायरेक्टली ये बात राइम करके भी बोल सकते हैं, पर वो राइमिंग में इतनी ऑथेंटिक साउंड नहीं करेगी, राइट? मतलब अगर आप उसे प्रॉपर, आप अपने फ्रेंड से कैसे बात करेंगे, अपने घर वालों से कैसे बात करेंगे? तो फ्री वर्स इज नॉट सेम एज rawness, but rawness kind of brings authenticity to it, right? Right, it's like when you put in your pictures, you know, if you use filters, you're not showing what you actually are, right? It's so essentially not making rhyming से क्या होता है कि वो ऐसा लगता है कि आप बात कर रहे हैं किसी से, जो कोई उसको पढ़ता है उसको लगता है कि हाँ बात हो रही है, right?
जी.
And then this is so I'm going to, any other thing, I'm going to move to questions now then.
Yes, which I missed writing in the form. Sorry to take your time.
No, that's all right.
I think I had asked you this question on Instagram as well, but I wanted to have a detailed opinion about it. These days, verses, couplets, four-liners, or however you call it, they're always clubbed with sketches or portraits or caricatures. And of late, I have also seen a lot of your couplets and four-liners are mixed with videos, maybe for Instagram, for example. But when you are doing a book, would you do that? And would you suggest clubbing art in the sense of visuals with words?
So I'm going to ask, maybe we'll do another, because I'm on the verge of publishing my poetry book. So I'll answer that question in detail, because I'm reaching out to a couple of publisher friends in India and see how that pans out. So probably some other time I'll answer that question. Okay?
Sure.
Is that
sure.
all right?
Thank you.
All right.
Sure.
So
Thank you.
Angad, hi, how are you? So you asked me, did I ever write as a child? Yes, I did. And I still do, because those are the most honest things that, you know, if not as a child, then probably as a teenager, I definitely do. I feel that everything romantic, if I have to write, I either write as a grown-up woman who has seen, you know, life and seen love in the form of life, or I do it in the form of somebody who's 15-14 year of age and experiencing love for the first time. Definitely as a child, I do write. For
So
improve, go ahead.
yes. So one, I just wanted to say I'm a huge fan,
Oh, that's
and
sweet.
I also wanted to ask, do you have any good authors or and like any good books that I could improve my vocabulary in, like for Hindi? Because like I can write poetry in English, but then when I try to do Shayari in Hindi, I just can't come off with the right words.
Okay, so I would say listen to Bollywood songs. I don't read people, especially in Hindi, because when I do, if I like something, that stays with me, and I cannot form any other, verse after I've read something good. So I would say listen to old Hindi music. That would actually help you a lot.
So I actually wrote a little something, and I just wanted to confirm if it's a couplet or no.
Okay.
So it's so I'm a budding chef as well. I like cooking. So I
Okay.
wrote a small couplet. जिस अदा से मैं शायरी करता हूँ उसी अदा से मैं खाना बनाता हूँ.
I think it's wonderful. It speaks who you are. It's really
Thank
lovely.
you. And I also wanted to ask, have you ever had a writer's slump?
Yes, if I don't write it regularly, I have to practice. If I don't write for 3 months, I forget how to write. I genuinely do. So
Okay, so it's normal.
It's very, very normal. And sometimes ideas won't strike you because you are living a routine life. You're probably going to school, playing with your friends, watching certain shows. It does happen. It's very normal. And I think people should take a break. But practice, they shouldn't. Like, you should write whatever. Even if it's bad, you should write every day. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, that was lovely to have you here, Angad. So, a couple of other questions which people have written. I think I have 4 minutes left. So, art of channelizing emotions. I'm sorry. Usme, this is one thing that I have taught somebody one-to-one. And book writing in Vishal, this how कि अपने emotions को आप कैसे लिखें, ये एक बहुत it's a very nuanced thing. तो मैं आपको एक लाइन या 2 लाइन में समझाती हूँ कि मैं कैसे लिखती हूँ. तो मैंने अपनी एक फ्रेंड की बुक के लिए एक पोर्शन लिखा है. उसमें मैंने इकट्ठा बुक लिखनी थी, बट फॉर सम रीजन आई कुडंट फिनिश इट. तो उसमें ब्रेकफास्ट सीन लिखना था. जब नॉर्मल ब्रेकफास्ट सीन हम लिखते हैं तो हम ऐसे लिखते हैं कि कोई आया, डाइनिंग टेबल पे बैठा, हम बात कर रहे हैं. मैंने वो नहीं लिखा. मैंने लिखा, एंड आई एम गोइंग टू शेयर अ स्क्रीनशॉट ऑन इंस्टाग्राम स्टोरीज लेटर दैट टाइम. मैंने लिखा है कि कैसे वो आलू का पराठा उसने तोड़ा अपने हाथ से. So when you are writing emotions, you have to give second by second or millisecond to millisecond or how many seconds portions of seconds you can divide into. आप वो हर चीज लिखेंगे. So जब आप उस लेवल पे लिखना शुरू करेंगे अपने इमोशंस को, तो वो इमोशन चैनलाइज होके वर्ड्स बन जाते हैं. So I'll do, if you guys are interested, I can do a whole session on it, because that for me is an essence of writing. And when I teach somebody one-on-one writing, I go with this, and I generally do it for people who are like in their 7th or 8th standard. They come to me how to write their essays. So then when I do a session, then I tell them कि इस तरह से break करो आप उसको. I ask back and forth question. It's like a session where all of us talk, exchange our ideas on the go. So do that, and if not, I'm going to share that Aloo ke Paranthe wala novel se jo in paragraph hai on my stories now. Grief is a very easy thing to write. I think I write the best thing when I'm in grief. Sometimes I think I should fall in love with somebody and have a breakup so I can write beautiful Hindi poetry. So grief is good, but वही आप उसको ब्रेकअप करो कि आपको क्या लग रहा है. आपका बाहर जाने का मन कर रहा है, आप उस इंसान को कैसे मिस कर रहे हो. मिस करना इज नॉट पोइट्री. किस तरह से मिस कर रहे हो. आर यू मिसिंग द टच ऑन योर शोल्डर्स, आर यू मिसिंग हगिंग, आर यू मिसिंग द lying on bed with him, are you missing I'm so sorry, but I don't want to say it because there's a child in there. Anything which is, you are actually missing in grief, write that. Routine, I'm so sorry, I'm just going a little fast because of lack of time, but inspiration to write is, see, inspiration strikes you when it will strike you. There is no routine to it. सिर्फ आप हर रोज लिखो, कुछ भी लिखो, चाहे एक लाइन लिखो, चाहे आपका दिन कितना बुरा था या अच्छा था वो लिखो, चाहे आप फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो, अगर आप फ्रस्ट्रेटेड और एंग्शियस या सैड हो तब तो जरूर लिखो आप, क्योंकि वही चीज आपको हेल्प करती है यू नो टू जस्ट explore what is hidden in you, because I came to know after 8 years of writing that my personal strength is to write emotions. मुझे पहले पता ही नहीं था, मैं सब कुछ लिखती थी, मैं मोटरोला के फोन के बारे में लिखती थी, like why I have no love for Motorola phones or LG phones or whatever I wrote at that time, but I have written poetry on Motorola phones and I have won contest on that as well, but that was not my strength. So I'm really sorry that I think I have less than a minute left. I'm really, really thankful that you guys joined in. And if you guys can unmute yourself and say bye, that will be great. The rest of the questions, I will make a post and I'll share it on Instagram and answer your questions. So
Thank you very much, Saru. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
you
Saru
guys.
Didi.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Best of luck for your book, Saru.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. It was
Bye-bye.
really amazing to connect with you.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.